Have you ever wondered why your dog follows you everywhere, stares at you with those big, pleading eyes, or nudges your hand every time you stop petting them? It often feels like your dog wants your attention every minute of the day, and while it might seem simple like they were just being clingy, the truth behind this behavior is far deeper and far more emotional than most people realize. Dogs don't demand attention without reason. Their need for your presence is built into their DNA, shaped by thousands of years of evolution and strengthened by the powerful bond they develop with their humans. Dogs are social animals in the truest sense. In the wild, a dog's survival depends on the pack. Every member of the group relies on one another for food, protection, warmth, and emotional support. When dogs became domesticated, humans replaced the pack. You didn't just become their owner, you became their family, their leader, their source of security, and their emotional anchor. This is why your dog constantly checks on you. It's why they lay outside the bathroom door, sit at your feet while you eat, and jump with excitement when you return home. To them, your presence means safety and stability. When you leave the room, even for a moment, their brain interprets it as their pack leader moving out of sight, and instinct tells them to stay close. But attention seeking from dogs is not just emotional, it's also a form of communication. Dogs use their behavior to tell you what they need. A paw on your arm might mean they're seeking comfort or connection. Resting their head on your lap could be their way of saying they feel anxious or overwhelmed. Barking for attention might be a sign of boredom, loneliness, or even an attempt to alert you to something. Dogs don't speak in words, they speak in nudges, stares, tail wags, and body language. When your dog wants your attention, they're trying to tell you something important, even if it seems small. Many dogs also crave attention because it reinforces a deep emotional reward in their brain. When your dog receives affection, whether it's a scratch behind the ears or a gentle pat, their brain releases oxytocin, the same bonding hormone that strengthens connections between mothers and babies. But what's even more incredible is this: humans release oxytocin too when interacting with dogs. This creates a feedback loop of love, where both you and your dog feel happier and more connected with each moment of shared attention. Your dog doesn't crave attention just because they enjoy it, they crave it because it literally makes them feel secure, loved, and emotionally fulfilled. And then there's learned behavior. Dogs quickly figure out what gets a reaction from their humans. If barking gets you to look at them, they'll bark more. If nudging your hand makes you pet them, that becomes their favorite trick. Dogs are excellent observers. They watch your routines, your moods, and your habits. They know when you're about to leave the house, when you're distracted, and when you're in the perfect mood to give them affection. The more a behavior earns them attention, the more deeply it becomes wired into their daily habits. Of course, some dogs take attention seeking to higher levels. This can happen when a dog feels insecure, anxious, or unsure of their place in the household. If something in their life has changed your schedule, your mood, your environment, they may cling even tighter to you as a way to seek reassurance. Your attention becomes their emotional safety net, the anchor that makes their world feel steady again. Another powerful reason dogs crave attention is rooted in their natural desire for purpose. Dogs are happiest when they feel like they have a role in your life, whether that role is guarding the house, comforting you, following you from room to room, or simply being close enough to respond when you need them. Dogs want to feel useful. When they seek your attention, they're not always looking for play or affection. Sometimes, they're looking for confirmation that they matter, that they are still part of your daily world. A dog that feels ignored or left out can become confused or anxious, especially if they don't understand why the connection with their human suddenly feels weaker. To them, attention is not a luxury, it is part of their emotional stability. It's also important to recognize that dogs feel emotions more intensely than we often assume. When you've been away for hours, their excitement when you return, and just happiness, it's relief. When you stop petting them, Their gentle pawing isn't just for affection, it's reassurance that their bond with you is still strong. Even small changes in your routine, working late, spending more time on your phone, being stressed or tired, can make your dog seek more attention than usual. Dogs don't understand your workload, your responsibilities, or your fatigue. What they feel is the shift in your energy. When they sense distance, they move closer. When they sense uncertainty, they stay by your side. When they sense sadness, they become more affectionate because they believe their presence can comfort you. Some dogs crave attention simply because they're bored. Dogs need mental and physical stimulation, and if they don't get it, they turn to the most available source of entertainment: you. Following you around, asking for playtime, or nudging you repeatedly becomes their way of coping with understimulation. They don't understand that you're busy or tired. They only know that engaging with you makes them feel alive and fulfilled. In the dog's mind, your attention is not just affection, it's activity, excitement, and interaction. Without it, their world becomes dull and empty. Dogs are creatures who thrive on routine, enrichment, and connection. When any of those things are lacking, attention-seeking becomes a natural response. There's also the simple truth that your dog genuinely enjoys your company more than anything else. Humans often underestimate how deeply dogs bond with their families. To your dog, you are not just the person who feeds them, you are their world. They interpret the smallest interactions as love. A glance, a smile, a scratch on the head, even the sound of your footsteps means something to them. When your dog seeks attention, it's often because being near you brings them joy, comfort, and emotional connection. And unlike humans, dogs don't hide how they feel. They express it openly through their behavior. In some cases, excessive attention-seeking can be a sign of anxiety or insecurity. Dogs that have experienced loneliness, abandonment, or a major change in their life may desperately cling to their humans out of fear of losing them again. To these dogs, attention is not just affection, it is survival. Without reassurance, they worry that something bad will happen or that they might be left alone again. This is why rescue dogs, or dogs with a history of trauma, often follow their owners closely and react strongly when separated. Your presence becomes their emotional shield. At the end of the day, your dog wants your attention because they love you, trust you, and depend on you more deeply than you may ever fully realize. To them, every moment spent near you strengthens their sense of safety and belonging. Attention is not a demand for them, it is their way of staying connected to the most important part of their life, you.